Danielson against Austin Aries. 2 out of 3 falls. Each fall has a 60-minute time limit. Aries, a member of Generation Next, refusing the handshake. You saw him pointing at his chin. It was survival of the fittest. It came down to Aries versus Danielson. They had a classic, and Aries had his chin split wide open from a Danielson European uppercut. That is why Austin Aries was pointing at his chin. He has not forgotten that. Danielson coming out victorious at survival of the fittest. Aries looking to even the score. As now we have a knuckle lock, both men very cautious. 2 out of 3 falls. The last time we saw Bryan Danielson in a 2 out of 3 fall match, it was against Paul London in a bout that many consider the greatest match in ROH history, the Epic Encounter. You have to be real cautious when you're in a ring with a man like Bryan Danielson or a man like Austin Aries. CM Punk, he'll be back in a few minutes, still distraught over that tag title loss. Danielson backing Aries into the ropes. Let's see if we get a clean break. Danielson grabbing the leg. And folks, I'm going to get it out of the way right now. I'm not going to go over the code of honor. I'm not going to go over what the contenders ring is, which of course is, I do have to mention how we determine our challengers for the titles. You can check ROHWrestling.com for that, as Danielson works on the knee and Aries tries to chop his way out. But I do have to pay the bills, and I do have to mention that Ring of Honor has now branched out into its own merchandise company. Austin Aries grabbing the ropes here. You can check it out at ROHWrestling.com or by calling 215-781-2500. Again, that's ROHWrestling.com, 215-781-2500. The straight shooting series, shoot style interviews, high production values, the best questions asked, the right follow-up questions asked. Mick Foley and Too Cold Scorpio, Christopher Daniels, Samoa Joe, Kamala, among some of the men to have already conducted interviews for ROH's straight shooting series. Also, Ring of Honor merchandise carries t-shirts, books, rare wrestling figures from Japan and WWE, in addition to DVDs from several companies including MLW, 3PW, CZW, UFC, IWC, FIP, you name it. ROH Wrestling store is going to have it. ROHWrestling.com, 215-781-2500, as we have the action picking up with shoulder blocks in the ring. Big back suplex by Bryan Danielson. I also have to mention some of our upcoming events. Boston, 8/28. The big three-way to determine the icon of ROH has just been signed. ROH World Champion Samoa Joe versus CM Punk versus Homicide. The world title will not be on the line. Instead, it'll be all about bragging rights. Also signed Scramble Cage Melee. The first and last time this match might ever happen. It is so dangerous. You have to jump off the top of the Scramble Cage onto somebody in order to eliminate them. 9/11, ROH returns to the Rexplex in Elizabeth, New Jersey with Ultimate Endurance, 6-Man Mayhem. Mick Foley. Why is Foley coming? We've heard Alex Shelley mention him on the mic tonight. We heard Allison Danger mention him on the mic tonight. We have no idea why Foley will be in ROH, but he is coming, and it'll be real interesting to see what that situation is. And October 2nd, back here in Philadelphia, but at the National Guard Armory, it's going to be a reunion of the Midnight Express. Jim Cornette, Bobby Eaton, Stan Lane, and Dennis Condrey all in the same building for the first time in 15 years. And of course, more events coming in the future to Boston, back to Elizabeth, New Jersey, Chicago on October 16th, Dayton, Ohio on October 15th. Check it out at ROHWrestling.com or by calling 215-781-2500. That's it for the plugs. Now it's time to pay full attention to this match. Bryan Danielson against Austin Aries, and look who's making his way back. None other than CM Punk.
Yeah, and I gotta hold this microphone with my right arm. Unfortunately, my left arm's still feeling a little bit numb. I got some ice on it. I think I'm more distraught over losing the tag belts than I am injured. But
that definitely has to be a disheartening loss, Punk. And I know that you want to talk about it a lot.
I really don't, Bauer. I come out here to watch this match just like a fan. I come here to call, lend my expertise where I can. I lost the tag belts along with my partner Colt Cabana, and honestly, the tag competition here in Ring of Honor is fierce. It's ferocious at best. I'm pretty positive we're going to wind up getting them back. It's just a matter of climbing the ladder again. But I'm not going to let it get me down, and I'm certainly not going to let it get in the way of me calling this match. I've been looking forward to this for a long time, and I personally know Dragon has too. I'm gonna get away my complaining about Generation Next right off the bat. They're gonna get what's coming to them from myself, Ace Steel, and Colt Cabana. We're gonna show them exactly why we were tag team champions for so long, and exactly why I am at the top of Ring of Honor, because we belong there and nobody can take our spot.
Austin Aries, hold on, he's got his shoulders on the mat. 2 count from Ref Hansen. Austin Aries was one of the men as part of Generation Next that laid you out in Chicago. But as you said, we'll talk about that another time, as we do have this match in the ring right now, and we will have lots more about Generation Next and Second City Saints in the future.
Now this match, 2 out of 3 falls. The logic behind this being early cattle mutilation by Dragon, and it's immediately countered by Austin Aries.
Notice how quick Aries was to get to the ropes. That cattle mutilation is not a hold you want to be in for a long time. It's put a lot of guys down.
As I was saying earlier, logic behind the 2 out of 3 falls match. They met last month in the Survival of the Fittest match. There was 6 people involved in the match. The final 2 came down to Austin and Dragon. They both wrestled for, what was it, Bauer? Outwards of...
about 25 minutes or so.
That was just the singles part of the match, so the entire match went...
About over 40 minutes.
Over 40, around 45 minutes. So ROH officials wanted to see exactly who the better man was without the other 4 individuals involved, without any other pinfalls. And to do that, the best way to do it is 2 out of 3 falls.
Especially with Bryan Danielson. This is a man that really made 2 out of 3 falls mean something here in ROH with that Paul London match at Epic Encounter. Bryan Danielson, one of the founding fathers here in ROH. His history in Ring of Honor is absolutely incredible. I mean, so many match of the year, starting on the very first Ring of Honor show with that 3-way against Loki and Christopher Daniels, then the second show against Christopher Daniels and Loki in singles matches. Perfect knee right to the chin, the upper bridge of the chin on Austin Aries.
You gotta wonder if Dragon's gonna try to bust that open again.
Austin Aries has only been on the ROH main roster since Reborn Stage 2. That was his debut on April the 24th. He was on the Do or Die afternoon show on March 13th. But Aries has made a big impact in a short time. And this is really his chance to really break through in the superstardom into main event status.
Well, he's in the main event now. I'd say he's already done that.
Something very interesting to know, too, is that no other Generation Next members are at ringside. That's a trend that I've been noticing in Generation Next lately, as Danielson now working on the arm, beautifully done, is that when Generation Next is in a title match or a main event type match, they usually go it alone, especially in a singles environment. There's not the usual suspects at ringside that we have seen in a lot of the Generation Next matches, and I'm definitely curious as to why that is.
Well, you'd think it'd be the other way around. You'd think they would, maybe they're easier matches, say against the earlier match tonight, Strong versus Dixie, or Izzy rather. You would think maybe Alex Shelley would need to be at ringside for that, or...
It's very curious why Generation Next goes it alone in these big matches, and maybe we can get Gary Michael Capetta on and get some answers, as you see a nice monkey flip by Austin Aries.
Before he escaped the knuckle lock. I think we're in for a long one here tonight, Bauer. 2 out of 3 falls matches traditionally in pro wrestling are longer matches. They're more grueling, and you're going into it realizing that there's going to be 2 falls. You could take 2 straight, but it's more of a defensive wrestling match. As you see a nice arm capture right there. A neck vice.
Very nicely done by Austin Aries as he's hanging in there with Bryan Danielson. You did mention the different strategy in the 2 out of 3 falls match. You recently had one with you and Cabana against the Briscoes, that was a classic, and that one went 40-plus minutes.
There's more of a feeling out process. It's like I said, it's a defensive wrestling match. You do not want to be the first one to make a mistake, especially in a tag team match. But if you make a mistake in a 2 out of 3 falls match, and it's such a mistake that can be capitalized immediately, and you're immediately down 1 fall, then you are at such a severe disadvantage, and chances are it's hard for you to come back from such a deficit. So you're going to see a lot of holds. You're going to see both men try to force each other into precarious positions, maybe try to force a mistake out of each other, and then they're going to see capitalizing. You're not going to see a whole lot of fast-paced, high-impact stuff until somebody makes a mistake.
Bryan Danielson very aggressive there on the legs and the face of Austin Aries. Now he's got him hooked. Nice suplex to the bridge. 2 count.
He was going for that earlier, but he couldn't get it.
Now Bryan Danielson against Paul London, that bout went over 40 minutes. So Danielson is used to these longer matches in the 2 out of 3 falls environment. And it's real interesting to note that there was a conference call last weekend with Danielson, Aries, and ROH officials to discuss the rules of this match, and both Aries and Danielson requested that the 60-minute time limit not contain the whole match, all 3 falls, but there be a 60-minute time limit for each fall. So I think that both men were preparing for a long match here.
Oh, and that's right. That exactly proves they know how grueling a 2 out of 3 falls match, and that they have to wrestle defensively. Both of them, I'm assuming, are sharing the same strategy here.
Well, it should be noted that the survival of the fittest match, they had both wrestled earlier in the evening. In addition to that, they did have to battle 4 other people in the 6-way before it came down to those 2. And Bryan Danielson did score the victory after a series of body slams and a bear hug, which is about the first time I've seen body slams and a bear hug used that effectively, and I guess, well, since the first time since the 70s, really. That's how good Bryan Danielson is. He takes those fundamentals and he makes them work in the modern era.
Both men jockeying for position. Austin Aries escapes only to have Danielson use the momentum that Aries used to escape to put him back in the same hold.
You see the faces of these fans glued on the ring. They are watching this like it's a classic chess match, because that's what's pretty much is going on at this point. Both men waiting for the other to make a mistake. Very, very careful with their moves, probably planning 4 or 5 moves in advance. Leapfrog, the action picking up now.
Nice reverse monkey flip. Almost a receipt from the monkey flip Danielson received on the hands of Aries earlier. Cravat applied by Danielson now.
Danielson's so effective in everything that he does. He can take the most basic moves and turn them up a notch and really use them more effectively than anybody else in the wrestling business right now. As there you see Aries grinding the forearm into the face of Danielson, trying to get him to relinquish the hold. Danielson takes him down well, holding on to the neck of Austin Aries, wrenching it.
It's going to be interesting to see who scores the first pinfall in this match.
How many moves ahead do you think these guys are in their minds? Do you think they're playing 5 moves ahead, 10 moves ahead, 15 moves ahead?
5, 6, 7 moves deep, I'd have to think. Danielson appears to now be working on the neck. Earlier, it seemed like he was trying to work on the chin, maybe reopen the wound. He went for the arm. I think Danielson, what he's doing is trying to maybe feel out Aries' body, see exactly Aries' reaction. There's a body slam, he talked about those earlier. He wants to see Aries' reaction to certain holds, maybe certain joints, and he's looking for an opening.
And Danielson might have been going for that flying headbutt early, but he gets cut off. Danielson going for a high-risk move early and paying the price right now as Aries taking an advantage.
You don't want to be on the top rope.
Especially in this building with the low ceiling.
Especially this early. This could be a mistake. This could be one of the things that Aries is looking for.
As Aries is trying to capitalize now with those forearms. And he hits the first major score of the match with that Hurricanrana off the top rope.
Let's see if you can follow up. Looks like Danielson took most of the impact of that move on his lower back. So I would assume Aries couldn't exactly see how he landed because he was upside down, but you never know.
Aries now whipping Danielson into the corner. corner, following up, drop kick right to the face. Another score from Austin Aries. Cover.
That's a kick to the back. It took a couple of those tonight. What that not only does that affect the back, I mean, if you notice my arm's in pretty bad shape right now. They repeatedly kick me in the back. What that does, you're getting kicked in the spine. Obviously, that's where your central nervous system is. It makes your arms go numb. It makes your feet go numb. You can't really feel your hands. And that's what I believe that's what the pit bulls are trying to do to me, and that's what could be happening right now. He could be going after an arm.
You notice Aries going for more strikes, more high-impact moves, whereas Danielson was more grounded. Perhaps Aries sensing that maybe he wants to try to get that first fall out of the way in a hurry. Maybe he figures he can catch Danielson off guard with some of those high-impact moves.
That would be the biggest difference in their styles. You see, Danielson's not about to lay down. He's still fighting right now. But Aries is definitely more explosive. Dragon is definitely more methodical.
The American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, he has risen to star status for New Japan Pro Wrestling. Austin Aries looking to cement his star. Wow, what a European uppercut from Danielson. And now Danielson unloading the heavy artillery.
Still no clear advantage yet. Now torquing on the neck using the top rope.
But Danielson is very aggressive. He will use some questionable tactics if the situation arises. Aries cut him off with a kick though. Oh, nails him with that clothesline. Cover. It's going to take more than that to put Bryan Danielson down.
This is still a filling out process, like I said. This is going to be going on for quite some time.
Aries is delivering some big blows, though, in the early going. That's something that can catch up to Danielson later on in this match. No, Danielson trying to hook that cattle mutilation again. Trying to turn Aries over. Trying to force him down on the mat. Driving that chest into the back. Trying to force Aries down. Aries fights out of it. Goes to the leg. Nicely done by Austin Aries.
Nice inside leg pick.
And now Aries wrenching back, and he's got that fish hook. Oh, the fish hook is illegal. Hansen should be calling as Aries has that finger in the mouth of Danielson, tearing at it. And Danielson's in a world of pain right now, and he rolls over into a cover. 2 count.
Fans are with us all the way, showing their appreciation. I gotta show my appreciation. Thus far, very evenly wrestled match.
What an atmosphere we have here. These fans want these guys to produce something special, and they are showing their support. As Aries trying maybe for another Huna Karana in the early going, Danielson catches him. Danielson's not going to get caught twice.
High impact gutbuster off the top rope.
And that'll change momentum in a hurry. Austin Aries now clutching the ropes in pain. Major score for Bryan Danielson.
Let's see if he focuses on the stomach now.
Did you see the look in Danielson's eye when he got up? He knows that he has Aries hurt. He knows that he can capitalize here.
Stop to the head.
Aries was clutching onto those ropes for life. Danielson now just... Look at that killer look in the eyes of Bryan Danielson.
Yep, focusing on the stomach, smart thing to do.
And he drop kicks Aries to the floor. CM Punk, this kind of reminds me of the match you had against Bryan Danielson at Reborn Stage 1 when he made you tap out to an abdominal stretch. Again, Bryan Danielson using a basic move there, but the way that Danielson executes those kind of types of moves just makes it so incredibly painful. I know for someone like you to tap to it, it had to be excruciating.
It's a grounded abdominal stretch, and yes, difference being that I was not on my feet. I couldn't use my legs to drive and walk towards the ropes. Let's see. It could be part of his strategy right here. He could have went into this match thinking that.
He drapes Aries over the top rope again. Nothing but a steel cable there on the midsection of the ribs of Aries. And a drop kick sends, a running drop kick, sends Aries to the floor. But my whole point being with that, we're talking about your match against Bryan Danielson, is that Danielson can be very effective in working on the rib cage and abdomen there.
Technician, he can be very effective working on any single body part.
Yeah, Dragon!
Throwing back. Yep.
And he is treating those fans in the front row to the best European uppercuts going today.
He's almost appeasing the fans. I think they're asking for requests. Can't win the match on the floor, though.
And Danielson knows that as he tosses Aries back in. Danielson right now firmly in control. And it looks like he's going, maybe trying to turn him over for a pinning combination. Yes!
Nelson with a cradle. Only a 2 count. Yep, Danielson definitely has the upper hand. This is the first upper hand either men have really gained in the match.
Aries fighting out of that chin lock. Danielson, though, putting his leg around the leg of Austin Aries, neutralizing his base. And look, he's trying to turn it into an abdominal stretch. And we have a struggle going on in there.
Aries is trying to bend his arm and fight off Dragon, throwing his body under it, but it does no good.
Now, if Danielson can sit down like he did against you, CM Punk, we could have a tap out early.
Well, if he sits down, what he does is he brings Aries a little bit closer to the ropes. And that's the opposite of what he wants to do, obviously. Here's the Danielson's going to stay on his feet.
Wait a second.
Well, you did say earlier he will use questionable tactics.
Danielson grabbing the ropes for extra leverage. The crowd booing him.
I do think that's slightly unorthodox. Perhaps Danielson realizes that this young lion in Ring of Honor is looking to take his spot, and he's going to do everything to hold on to it.
Danielson once again going to the ropes. It's almost like he's toying with the crowd as well. And Aries has to get out of this hold. He is trying with those elbows to the knee. And now he just brought the leg over and able to get out of it. Oh, and he got caught with that clothesline as a result. Meanwhile, what we have here is Danielson, with a stomp. But the point I was going to make is Danielson is causing a lingering injury to Austin Aries that is going to follow Aries through possibly both falls, and if it goes to 3 falls, all 3 falls of this bout.
If he works on that stomach enough, it's going to tighten up and it's going to eventually start cramping up on Austin Aries. You can't wrestle with a cramp.
Now Danielson, if you notice, he is driving that knee and the leg into the back of the rib cage of Austin Aries and the lower back area. Aries, though, he's trying to get fired up. He's trying to get some adrenaline going. He needs to mount some offense soon.
He's coming. Forearm after forearm. Danielson drives him back into the corner. Follows up with some shoulder blocks. More European uppercuts.
Well, look at Aries. He's fighting back. Danielson once again goes to the midsection.
Smart wrestling. There's a lot of people out there that think Bryan Danielson's the best wrestler in the world right now.
Well, I got to agree with them. Austin Aries, though, he's hanging in there. And once again, Danielson with a knee to the midsection. Aries trying to get his wind, gasping for air. We got a cover. Hanson with a 2 count. And it looks like Danielson's trying to pull back on that arm again, stretch the midsection one more time. And look at Aries clutching his hands together. But Danielson going to the face. Aries now trying to get Danielson off of his face.
Which exposes the arm for the original hold that he wanted, which is the seated abdominal stretch. Now
Beautifully done.
He doesn't have his leg wrapped around Aries' left leg. So So all the pressure isn't there, but Daniels obviously supplements that by throwing his elbow into the side of Austin Aries.
Right now, the midsection of Austin Aries has to be screaming in pain. Oh, look at that. Danielson, though, leaving his head open for those knee strikes. But then he cinches in the hold on Aries.
The way Aries is positioned right now, the more he scoots his legs towards the ropes, takes pressure off his midsection. The more his hips are in and under Daniels' center of gravity, the more the hold is effective. That's why this hold works a lot better when you can trap the man's leg. You can't move his legs away from you. Ref Hansen's right in there to make sure Austin Aries isn't submitting. You gotta believe Danielson would love a submit right here. He'd love to submit Austin Aries.
Danielson really hasn't taken a lot of punishment in this fall at all, except for an early flurry from Aries. So Danielson would be in great shape going into a second fall at this point. And there are those knees, and finally Danielson relinquishes.
We got a crucifix!
Oh, that was almost it. Danielson thought it was 3.
Just stalking Austin Aries, picking the man up off the mat.
And you know the whole time he's stalking him, he's thinking about what his next moves are going to be. And there he goes to the back of the rib cage and the lower back of Austin Aries. Another 2 count. You notice Bryan Danielson trying to win this match at every opportunity, always going for a cover or a submission.
Your abdominal muscles and your lower back muscles are opposing muscle groups. If your abdominal muscles are too tired, your lower back has to take over and work a lot harder. It could be part of Bryan Danielson's strategy. He's taken away the ab muscles of Austin Aries and then immediately go work on the lower back. Like I said, he's working almost on everything on Austin Aries to try to find exactly what the best opening is.
And he's got a Mac and a backbreaker. They're up in a backbreaker.
Canadian style. The man's legs draped over dragging shoulders.
That's a lot of pressure on the lower back and the abdomen muscles. Aries desperate to get out of it. And he does in a big way.
That's going to get him some time. What he's got to do is breathe. Honestly, what he can do right now is possibly stretch his ab muscles out a little bit. Like I said, he wants to avoid a cramp.
American Dragon sent hard to the floor. The wrestling machine Austin Aries has an opportunity right here.
Let's see if he can score.
And he slides in with that baseball slide. It catches Danielson. And scores with a twisting plancha.
Definitely a high-risk maneuver, something like that. Obviously, you saw the way he landed on Danielson. His stomach is what landed on Danielson first. Something that's going to take a lot out of Austin Aries. Obviously, he's got Danielson down right now. He needs to capitalize, and he needs to do it soon. Something like that obviously takes a lot out of you. That's why it's called a high-risk maneuver. This time it actually paid off for Aries.
Do you think maybe it was a desperation move from Austin Aries?
It could have been. It could have been. It's not something I would have done at that point in time.
Aries knew he had to score big, and he did.
Dragon holding his head.
Well, that is a hard floor there. We saw what it did to Trent Acid's ankle. Aries now looking worn down, and Danielson, you notice where he delivered that boot right to the midsection. But Aries fighting back with a kick.
Aries is worse for wear, but he's obviously still alive. He's not down and he's not out. Still, no fall. Neither men been pinned yet. We still got 2 falls to go.
Punk right now, though, I do have to acknowledge the fact that you are being extremely professional right now, and I am very impressed with the fact that you are putting your feelings for Aries aside.
You got a pinfall attempt. Only a 2.
You are putting your feelings for Aries aside, though, and calling this match as it deserves to be called, as a sport.
Well, when it all boils down, Ring of Honor. And we got a Royal Octopus hold on the mat. Ring of Honor is about the competition. Some guys have attitudes, some guys have agendas, but everybody has talent. And these are 2 of the most talented wrestlers in the world right now, and they're squaring off. And I get a front row seat. I get the scout. You never know when I'm going to be in the ring with you, gentlemen. So, the bottom line is I love wrestling. at Danielson biting the right thigh of Austin Aries. It was one of the only ways Danielson could have gotten out of that hold.
Danielson proving he will use any tactic necessary.
2 out of 3 falls. I've already explained how grueling and how long these matches can be. If he would have stayed in that hold for very much longer, really the only way to get out would be to tap.
That has to be really frustrating for Austin Aries. You finally get an advantage in a hold, and you get bit on the thigh as a result.
You ever been bit on the thigh?
Nope.
Unless you're into that, it's not a comfortable thing.
And now Danielson's struggling out. And Austin Aries fighting back with a back rake and clubbing Danielson in the back of the neck. Aries, much like Danielson, going for a pinfall at every opportunity. Going for a submission at every opportunity.
Flat on his back. Aries constantly adjusting his knee pads. That could give away maybe something that we don't know about Aries. Maybe he's trying to protect his knees. Right now, I think he's got to just worry about protecting that stomach.
He's got to worry about those European uppercuts.
It has been a while since Danielson has applied a hold or maneuver to the abdominal region of Austin Aries, and Austin goes right downstairs with a knee.
Austin Aries perhaps buying some time, letting his midsection heal up a little bit. It's of course not going to be 100%, but that might neutralize some of the damage that Danielson did earlier in the match.
Interesting way to choke your opponent. It's almost like a side choke, which you see a lot in mixed martial arts. But obviously, man in the turnbuckle.
And look at this, a Danielson trademark if he's able to hook it. It could be the airplane spin. No. Oh, instead he goes right back to the midsection. Drapes those ribs right across his knee.
And Austin Aries, his game plan just took about a good 3 steps backwards. He had the upper hand for maybe about a couple minutes, but right back to that gut buster. Let's see if he drapes him across the ropes again. No!
He hits a slingshot suplex. Tully Blanchard would have been proud of that one. And he gets a couple of 2 counts out of it. Trying to force that shoulder down one more time.
What repeated pin attempts do, obviously, is force your opponent to kick out more. That's why you want to hook the leg, put all your body weight on the opponent's chest. He can't breathe. It takes more energy for him to have to kick out, force you off his body to get his shoulders off the mat. So that's all Danielson's trying to do right here is just wear down Aries.
Aries trying to fight back with those kicks to the back.
His abdominal region's already affected, which hurts his breathing. So to try to take away his air more, try to tire him out more is good, sound strategy. Danielson now looks to be applying some sort of an arm bar on the left arm of Austin Aries. As long as Aries' shoulders are up. Almost a version of Tenzan's Anaconda Vice. Looks like he's got the head trapped. It's almost another side choke, but he has the top wrist lock applied as well. Austin's legs are still free.
Aries keeps kneeing him, kicking him, but Danielson, it's just not having any effect on him. Danielson manages to maintain the hold. Hansen right on top of it to see if Aries wants to give up.
Aries looked like he was about to attempt a bridge to maybe escape, but that pinned himself, his shoulders to the mat. The more he kicks out, the tired he gets.
Aries finally able to turn over and get out of the hold, but Danielson going right back to that knee and driving into the back, in addition to going to the head. Trying to get the arm now isolated, expose the rib cage.
Now look what he's doing right here now. He's putting all that weight on that right shin and that knee.
That is just driving down into the back of the rib cage, the lower back of Austin Aries. And that knee definitely driving down into the spine of Austin Aries. And look at Danielson, the way he was just holding Aries down. He's doing it once again.
Putting more pressure on the affected area.
And he is exposing that affected area as well. And there's the big high knee.
Using the ropes for more momentum.
And now once again he's got that the shin and the knee driving into the lower back of Aries while he's pulling back on the head of Aries.
What Aries has to do right now is try to extend his legs enough to get to the ropes. Because like I said before, the abdominal area has been so affected by Danielson's repeated hammering that he's now working on his lower back. It's gonna hinder his breathing to such an extent that he could pass out. The fall, of course, would then be awarded to Bryan Danielson, and if he's unconscious, then he's in a completely different world of hurt. Nice knee to the lower back of Austin Aries. Followed up. Let's see if he can score with a suplex.
He's trying to slingshot again. No, Aries, though, falls on top of him. Almost gets a quick 3 right there. That was almost it. Austin Aries, beautiful job reversing that move that Danielson hit earlier for a 2 count.
It looked like he was looking for a small package, perhaps. Danielson tried to score him out of it, but Aries did reverse that as well. Landed on top of his man for the lateral press.
And now Danielson scooping him up. There's that airplane spin. And it kept going.
Now he stops and reverses the other way. Sound thinking by Dragon. Why let the man down? He already got him in the air.
And both men have to be dizzy after that.
Now this is Dragon by numbers right now. Airplane spin followed by a Finley roll. He's going to ascend the top rope and he's going to go for that diving headbutt.
Let's see if he can get his bearings. He has a dizzy look in his eye. And now a little perturbed by the ceiling. That ceiling distracted Danielson for a minute, allowing Aries to move. I shouldn't say a minute, it was just a moment. But that moment was all that Aries needed.
Rep Hansen checking on both men now, applying the count. They have 10. They can answer, just like in boxing, they have a 10 count to answer to. First man to their feet will break the count.
That airplane spin has to take something out of Danielson as well as Aries.
Oh, of course, of course.
Both men struggling to their feet right now. They're beginning to unload the heavy artillery. Aries perhaps going for that brain buster. That's one of his favorites. Oh, a knee strike stops in midair.
Dragon goes right back to that midsection.
Golden Gate swing. 2 count.
Dragon almost outsmarted there by Austin Aries. He kept going for the knees. Austin trapped his leg and hit that Golden Gate swing. Very nice.
Both men really showing the wear and tear of this one. Punk, I mentioned before that you're a head trainer of the ROH Wrestling School, and this is definitely a match that your students should watch. This is a wrestling clinic.
In my opinion, either men should be trying to work this count. The longer you stay down, the more chance you have to breathe. Unless, of course, your opponent gets up, then you have to get up and counter whatever he's attempting to do. But I'd be working the count. I'd stay down till 9. There's no shame in trying to rest.
Aries unloading one forearm after the other as you see the dazed look on the face of Austin Aries. He's trying to hang in this one. And he's exploding right here. Of course, Aries is a master of that explosive offense. Springs up, going to the top. Moonsault block. No, Danielson. Oh, it's a pinning combination for Aries.
So close. A fraction of a second away from the first call being awarded to Aries. Talk about explosive.
Aries once again going for a quick pinning combination, but not quite enough. Aries proving he's so good at using his weight and momentum to get a quick pinning combination. That's something Danielson's definitely going to have to be careful of. And I believe that we were over a half an hour into this match, perhaps well over a half an hour.
Fans still solidly into it.
Those eyes just glued on the ring. Wow, look at that. Aries planted Danielson for a 2 count. These guys always going for the cover. They know it only takes 3 seconds. Right now, perhaps they're formulating new strategies in their heads as they're delivering these maneuvers. Traditional body slam. Aries now going for a high-risk move.
Aries is starting to look more and more fatigued.
He's got to be careful up there. And Danielson catches him.
Not where you want to be right now.
Danielson is so dangerous on those ropes.
Neither men have yet to make a big mistake.
I don't think they can do this. Danielson is psychotic.
Yeah, psychotic might be effective for Danielson.
And
now this time with the headbutt.
Turns him over. I believe Austin Aries was very fortunate with his ring positioning there. Danielson trying again, but no.
Ref Hansen doing a great job of showing everybody on that side of the ring exactly how the pinfall was broken up.
The rope saved Austin Aries there, no doubt about that. Danielson going for another high-impact move. These guys are beginning to unload the heavy artillery.
Danielson frequently likes to do the back suplex off the top rope. Very precarious position in this venue with the ceiling being so low, but he's already scored with one superplex. No! Austin Aries reverses in midair!
Danielson on top.
So close both times.
You know, I say it only takes 3 seconds, but that 3 seconds must feel like an eternity for these two men as they are going for cover after cover. Another one!
Package!
No, again! Shades of Steamboat versus Savage at WrestleMania 3. So many covers. No one getting that 3 count, though. A backslide attempt from Aries. He drops down. Yes, he's got it. Once again. Going for that crucifix bomb. He's got it. And now he's going for that Rings of Saturn, pressure on the neck and arms and shoulders. And that crucifix bomb definitely softened up the areas that this hold is effective on. Danielson needs to get the ropes. He needs to get out of this quick. Aries has made people tap to that Rings of Saturn.
Dragon's trying to scoot backwards, maybe try to find the ropes.
Forearms right to the back of the neck. Aries jockeying for position as a full Nelson. And hold on! Cattle mutilation. He has Bryan Danielson in his own hold.
Beautiful bridge.
And Danielson has nowhere to go. Hold on. He taps. Bryan Danielson has tapped the cattle mutilation in the first fall. Austin Aries assaulting the neck in the last few minutes before this cattle mutilation. And that might be a strategy by Bryan Danielson. You might want to tap instead of remaining in the hold, save yourself from future injury, and just have to play the comeback game.
Or maybe that crucifix bomb did a lot more damage than we suspect.
Either way, Austin Aries is up 1 fall to none. What an incredible first fall. Todd Sinclair coming in to referee the second fall, giving Hansen a breather. You got to figure if the referees need to be switched off, how grueling is this on the combatants in the ring?
Wait a minute, they're getting water now? That's cheating.
Now there is a 30-second rest period. And now, I believe it's just about over as Aries comes up. And we're starting the second fall. Aries going to work right on that back of the head and the neck area of Bryan Danielson.
Very wise decision by Ring of Honor upper management to switch referees. New fresh referee for the next second fall.
The question remains, how much pain was Bryan Danielson in? Was he just tapping out so that he could conserve his energy for the final 2 falls? Because obviously he needs to win this one in order to go to a 3rd fall. Or has Austin Aries perfected the cattle mutilation?
Only Dragon knows that.
Dragon fighting back now. Big chop. European uppercut. Danielson knows he's behind. He knows he's got to play comeback here. And he is getting aggressive.
Another body slam attempt by Dragon. Almost a Dragon sleeper by Aries. Ooh, drops him down in a neck breaker and a pin attempt. 1, 2. He had the leg hooked and everything that time, Bauer.
Aries now sensing he might be able to score a quick second fall right here and win this one 2-0. And it doesn't look like that's going to happen.
That'll take the starch out of you. Shoved right off the top rope, landing on that chair.
And Aries really sailed a long way there. That's a major turning point in this match. And look at Bryan Danielson right out on the floor, not giving Aries any time to recover or regain his composure.
Also not giving himself any time to regain or to rest. He just lost a pinfall. He should perhaps rethink this strategy, I think. But being super aggressive, locking Austin Aries' leg in between two guardrails and then kicking the guardrail. We've seen him go after the lower back, the stomach, and now it appears he's targeting a knee. Shin breaker on the floor. Austin Aries can't even put pressure on that leg to stand.
You know what, CM Punk? I recognize this. This is similar to what Bryan Danielson did in the epic encounter against Paul London. He dropped the first fall and went right after the knee in a very aggressive fashion in the second fall, and that led to victory in the second fall for Bryan Danielson. He's adopting that same strategy here. History repeating itself.
Well, definitely the easiest thing you do to gain an advantage on your opponent, as Danielson looks like he's setting Aries up for something right here. Throws that leg right into the guardrail. Almost kicks a fan right in the face, too.
You have to ask yourself if these tactics are necessary.
Well, the easiest thing to do to gain an advantage on your opponent is to take out his legs. Take out his legs, he can't stand. Austin Aries likes to use a 450 off the top rope. He might not be able to stand on the top rope now.
Well, Austin Aries right now not only has an injured midsection, he also has an injured leg. Perhaps Danielson changing his strategy, perhaps sensing that working on the midsection of Austin Aries wasn't quite working, and switching to the leg right now.
I gotta question the strategy right there. I mean, I would stay on the midsection. He hit 2 gut busters, repeated drop kicks to the stomach. He draped his midsection across that steel cable top rope many times. Switching up maybe shows to Austin Aries how frustrated he is that he just lost the first fall and he hasn't put him away himself yet.
Don't forget, Danielson also did a lot of work on the lower back of Austin Aries, and he is trying to turn over into the half crab, just like he used against Paul London.
Now, if you notice, Aries grabbing the left leg, not allowing himself to be turned over.
Very nicely done by Austin Aries. It's all the little things in this match that are making the difference. And now Bryan Danielson, he has it cinched in though, and he is increasing the arc, and no, look at Aries able to turn over and once again grab the leg to neutralize the hold.
Very smart wrestling by Aries. You know, it's interesting. I would think that the person who gained the first fall would be wrestling more aggressive right now, but it must have, a switch went off in Danielson, and he's not wrestling the more aggressive match. And Aries is definitely on the defensive right now. He needs to get out of this hold. He's got nowhere to go. He's in the center of the ring. He can't reach the ropes.
And he's got the knee of Bryan Danielson driving the back of his head while he's twisting that knee.
He still manages to turn over.
Bryan Danielson once again trying to turn it back. Let's see if he can. Yes, he has it one more time. He has it cinched in. Austin Aries has to get out of this in a hurry.
Todd Sinclair up close and personal with Aries, making sure he doesn't tap out. Dragon drags him back, compromises the hold. Aries is rolled over again. Goes for a Boston Crab.
Look at this! Oh, that was almost it.
Nice leg whip into the mat.
Bryan Danielson definitely has his strategy focused for the second fall. And now once again he is twisting that knee. He is driving his own knee into the joint of Austin Aries' knee while pulling up at the ankle, and that's not the way your ligaments and tendons are supposed to twist.
Your ligaments and tendons aren't supposed to twist at all. Danielson is an expert at twisting them the wrong way, though.
And he is just tying up those legs of Austin Aries. Aries close to the ropes. I don't know if he realizes it or not.
Indian Deathlock. More pressure applied to the knees of Austin Aries with the opposite leg of Danielson.
And this whole time also, Danielson is able to conserve some energy while Aries is expending it.
This hold can hurt so bad you forget your own shoulders are down on the mat.
Aries trying everything he can. Oh, and look at that. Danielson really has those legs in a bad situation.
Aries trying to bridge up on the top of his head to relieve some of the pressure.
And he is pretty much at Bryan Danielson's mercy right now, and that's not a place you want to be. Danielson toying with the crowd. Oh my God! Look at that. Danielson bridging backwards. What an incredible leg submission right there. Aries might pass out for the pain, or he might find himself pinned. He might have to tap here.
He's got to turn this over.
Look how those legs are locked together. Oh, Aries has to get to the ropes. He might want to tap here and save himself for the third fall.
He's being real tenacious, though. Makes it to the ropes.
Well, Aries did prove by battling with that split open chin at Survival of the Fittest that he is one tough individual. I mean, this guy's as tough as nails. He doesn't get credit for how tough he is, and he has proven it one more time right here. But look at Aries almost trying to get to the floor right now to save himself, to buy himself some time. He needs to rest up. He needs to get some blood circulating. He has to end this assault of Bryan Danielson.
Textbook drop kick. While caught in the ropes.
Danielson using the ropes to his advantage, using his environment to his advantage. And look at that, just tearing at the knee.
He's being merciless. Aries needs to roll to the floor. He needs to try to create some distance between himself and Dragon. Get the hell away from him. Aries to his feet now. Both men fatigued. Aries now working on the midsection of Dragon. But they're desperation shots. He doesn't have everything behind him.
No, Aries is just doing whatever he can to end Bryan Danielson's attack, as he is basically on one leg. And Danielson takes him to the floor.
Puts both his feet under the armpits of Aries as he was trying to strike Danielson in the ropes. Takes him right outside. Honestly, this is where Aries needs to be right now.
Well, as long as Danielson isn't on top of him, this is where he needs to be. Right now, though, Danielson, I'm surprised he's not right out on the floor being aggressive as usual. Danielson giving Aries some time to breathe. Oh, crash and burn, dangerous!
Crash and burn. I think on the way down, Dragon hit his head on the corner of that table.
He might have hit his head on the floor, too. I think Danielson landed face first on the floor. Oh, and a hostage falling over the crowd. Oh, Danielson, this might be it. Danielson might not be getting up. He landed hard on that floor, and we already saw what that floor did to the ankle of Trent Acid.
Big mistake by Bryan Danielson. This gives Aries a lot of time to breathe, and like I said earlier, there's no shame in trying to stretch out the afflicted area. He could try to stretch out his leg a little bit, get some blood flowing back into it. What's the referee trying to say? The referee's trying to get him back right now, trying to tell him he needs to get back into the ring.
Todd Sinclair has an important judgment call to make here.
Dragon might not get up.
Dragon's not moving.
picking him up. He's dead weight. Help me.
And Aries is getting a little frustrated, but he has had a lot of time to rest now. And Danielson is dead weight. You heard Aries say it. Danielson is out. Sinclair might have to ring the bell here.
Hey, no.
What's this idiot doing? He's got a bum leg and he's climbing to the top rope.
You gotta be kidding me. Aries paying the price. Aries frustrated, climbing up to the top rope, dropping that elbow.
He could have simply won the match by rolling back in the ring and having the ref apply a count. I mean, if Danielson cannot lay there all night, he has to be counted out.
Well, there are no countouts here in ROH. You can't be DQ'd.
Yeah, but it's a judgment call by the referee, and I would say that
the ref can disqualify you if you're out there for too long. Todd Sinclair making a judgment call here, giving Danielson a chance to perhaps come to, not wanting that in the second fall like this in this epic match that we're witnessing right here. And maybe Todd Sinclair's letting a little bit too much go.
The referee's got to be concerned about the well-being of both wrestlers, obviously, but then he's got the job of just calling the match as well.
Hold on, Danielson, he's beginning to show some movement, some signs of life.
The ref offering him some water.
All right, well, Todd Sinclair did make the judgment call to give Danielson that time on the floor. And the major story also is that Austin Aries had a lot of time to recover. Now Danielson takes the steal. Aries has to get Danielson in the ring and go for a pin. The cobwebs are still in the head of Bryan Danielson. There's no way you're going to shake something like that off. Danielson has to be seeing stars, but Aries might be too banged up to really follow up.
Yeah, but can Dragon even remember exactly what body part he was working on? He worked on his lower back, he worked on his stomach. Which one's hurt more and which one was he recently working on? I mean, he got hit in the head. Either hit his head on the corner of that table or he landed directly on the floor. And either way, like you said, there's cobwebs. He could have a concussion. He might not know where he is right now. He might not remember if there's a fall already earned in this match or what.
Danielson in very bad shape, and meanwhile, every minute that goes by is another minute that Austin Aries gets to rest up, and his injured limb and his injured midsection are going to heal up. His injured back are going to heal up. And Danielson into the ring, and the crowd shows their appreciation for this effort. Oh, and look at Aries, catapulting himself in. For a 2 count, Danielson kicks out.
Not able to hook the legs. What do we got here?
Explosive moonsault. And the rope save Bryan Danielson. Another pin attempt. Once again, Danielson kicks out. He's got to be on pure instinct at this point.
Aries, too. I mean, not a wise decision doing that corkscrew into the ring. Hurts his stomach and his knees, then follows up with another moonsault. He's had plenty of time to rest that leg, though. He's still favoring it, but it's obviously not as bad as when Danielson was focusing his attack on it. Danielson needs to clear his head and go right back to that leg.
And Danielson on instinct hits that European uppercut. He goes by to one of his favorite moves, goes back to it. And we are approaching the 1 hour mark in this match. CM Punk, you and Samoa Joe recently wrestled for 1 hour at World Title Classic, what I consider one of the greatest matches in ROH history. You know what it's like. What are both these men feeling right now?
You wrestle for over 45 minutes or an hour. I don't really think you realize it. I think you're thinking win, win, win. And definitely both these men are. Right now, Danielson might just be trying to recall exactly what day of the week it is. But both men are feeling very tired, very fatigued. Austin Aries, he might actually be worse for wear than Daniel. Daniel's suffering a possible concussion, but not showing any signs of it right now. Aries follows up with a nice roaring elbow. Danielson right back on the floor. You gotta take into account, Aries has had his legs worked on, his midsection worked on, his lower back worked on. Look at him walk around.
He is in obvious pain right now, and Bryan Danielson might have saved himself with that momentum going to the floor. As Todd Sinclair has proven before, he's going to let these guys go on the floor. He's not going to ring the bell if they're on the floor for too long, and Danielson cannot be pinned on the floor. And Austin Aries is obviously frustrated by the fact that Bryan Danielson went to the floor and he's unable to go for a pinfall.
He needs to throw the man back in there and just he needs to wear him down a little bit more.
And he keeps delivering those forearms to that head of Bryan Danielson.
Yes, but he cannot win this match outside. Elbow smash that was telegraphed from a mile away by Danielson.
Huge mistake by Austin Aries. And Danielson now, he knows that arm is injured and he is going after it aggressively. Danielson is getting probably his third or fourth win. Definitely a second win from that terrible tope. And he is getting ultra aggressive working on the arm of Austin Aries. And Danielson knows you can only win it in the ring, and he tosses Aries right back in there.
Possibly setting up Aries for cattle mutilation now.
Well, that cattle mutilation does do damage on the arm. If Aries does have an injured arm, the cattle mutilation will be very effective on it.
What do you got, huh?
Danielson shaking off those cobwebs. He is aggressive in his assault.
I find it very interesting that such a mat technician like Bryan Danielson has switched his game plan up so frequently in this match.
Perhaps that was his game plan, to go after numerous body parts on Austin Aries.
We got a hammerlock, top wrist lock, I'm sorry, and it's stomped right on the elbow. You could break a wrist.
And I believe that we have just passed the 1 hour mark in this match.
Danielson severely needs to score a pinfall on Aries. Or perhaps a submission. He needs this fall.
It's all over if he doesn't get it.
That would be embarrassing for an athlete the caliber of the American Dragon.
Even though it went over an hour, 2 straight falls is not how you want to lose, but that brain buster could bring Austin Aries victory right here. Austin Aries simply has to roll over, but look at him, he was clutching his knee, then he went to clutch his arm. Austin Aries is in a world of pain. He's going to be feeling this match for a long time.
Austin Aries is a mess, but the head of Danielson has been so affected by that plancha gone awry that this brain buster, a simple brain buster, which is so effective if your head is even in a normal state, could possibly end this match.
And Aries goes for that power elbow, but he hurt his own arm in the process, but we got cover! 2 count, and the pin can definitely come at any point. These two guys are so banged up. They have suffered so much abuse. It only takes 3 seconds, but that 3 seconds must seem like an eternity to both these athletes. Pro wrestling is a sport. Bryan Danielson and Austin Aries are proving it right here.
Another brainbuster attempt. Dragon slips behind him, hooks both his arms, chicken wings him, going for cattle mutilation right now. He needs to drive all his weight to the center of Austin Aries. He needs to clip that knee. It's almost like he heard me.
He went to the back of the knee, and Aries is down. Danielson just needs to flip over.
Cattle mutilation.
Danielson has counter mutilation cinched in, and Austin Aries is right in the middle of the ring. Can Aries escape the hold? He's got nowhere to go.
His back is hurt. His knee is hurt. His arm is fatigued. It's hurt. His midsection is hurt.
Counter mutilation puts them all away, and Danielson now turning over. He's got him. 3 count. Bryan Danielson gets that elusive 3 count, and we're even at 1 fall apiece. And Austin Aries is screaming in pain.
Bryan Danielson, we're tied up at 1-1, and the 30-second break period has commenced.
We are about an hour and 5 minutes into this match.
You know, I wrestled Samoa Joe for an hour. I didn't get water breaks. I want water breaks next time.
Well, maybe we'll put you and Samoa Joe in a 2 out of 3 fall match.
I want water breaks and a fruit plate next time.
Bryan Danielson and Austin Aries are proving that pro wrestling is a sport here in Ring of Honor. No sports entertainment in this one. And it's coming down to one final fall. Bryan Danielson, a head full of cobwebs. He knows that he was just signaling to the crowd. Austin Aries, an aching arm, aching lower back, aching midsection, aching leg. And he is one fall away from scoring the biggest victory of his life. Fans are going to remember this one for a long time. They're going to be talking about this one for even longer. Who's going to be known as the winner in the record book? We are getting ready for the third fall. Right now, Austin Aries, Bryan Danielson, the new rivalry is here.
Aries looks to be on the defensive right now. European uppercut. It'd be great if he busted open his chin again right here, right now.
That's what Bryan Danielson's trying to do. Danielson ultra aggressive. He's going after the back of the neck now. Perhaps softening him up for cat mutilation again. Danielson wasting no time in planting Aries on the top rope. Going for it all. Perhaps a home run type move here.
He loves to hit superplexes. He's hit like almost 2 of them in this match already. Going for the third.
And hold on, Aries. He's got him.
Oh, that's got to be it. Aries needs to make the cover. He needs to hook a leg.
And this crowd glued to the ring, showing their appreciation. They're tired after watching this for over an hour. And Bryan Danielson's head has to be filled once again with cobwebs after that perfect DDT from the top rope. Austin Aries saving himself from that superplex, but unable to make the cover because his entire body is in too much pain.
Both men appear to be in need of another water break right here. So fatigued, this match has gone on for so long. I know exactly how they feel. Your legs become heavy like lead. Every single breath you take in is like fire. Your lungs are so eager to just take deep breaths, but you can't. Your heart is pounding. Body slam by Aries.
The crowd rooting both men on as Aries sacrificing himself going for a second body slam. You see him clutching his back, using every ounce of strength to hoist Danielson up for those body slams. And he does it a third time. And Aries might be pulling Danielson's own tactics on him. This is similar to what Danielson did to Aries at Survival of the Fittest. And Aries trying again. No, Danielson lands on his feet. Aries had too much taken out of him. Aries used all his strength and determination to hit those body slams.
And now Dragon's giving him a taste of his own medicine. Second one for Aries. Dragon can't even stay on his feet.
He is just spiking Aries into that mat. Scooping him up a third time, yes! We are seeing shades of June 24th, 2004 right here. I'm losing my voice. I can't even believe I'm calling a match like this. Once again, Bryan Danielson with another body slam.
Imagine how the wrestlers feel.
Unbelievable effort from both men. It's a shame that we will have one winner and that there will be a loser.
Small package, just sit.
Oh, Hanson is back in as referee and he counts a 2 count. Danielson goes right to that lower back.
This is any man's match right now. Bear hug by Danielson.
This is like exactly what he used at Survival of the Fittest. He has it cinched in. Aries wasn't able to escape before. Can he do it now?
Aries can barely put all the weight on that one leg.
Not only the leg, but this is squeezing the oxygen out of the ribs, out of the lungs of Austin Aries.
Well, Danielson's plan definitely comes to fruition right here. He's worked on the arm, so Aries can barely strike his way out of this. He can't put his pressure on his legs to relieve himself the pressure off the back, which has been worked on, and the midsection that's been worked on. Aries is going to pass out. He can't breathe.
He can't get out of this. His back is too beat up. His midsection, his abdominal muscles are too beat up. His leg is. His arm is. Bryan Danielson's plan is genius. It has come to fruition, and it's going to give him a victory right here.
Aries wisely getting his arms inside of Dragon's arms now.
Danielson, what a strategy in this one, but look at Austin Aries! He reversed the bear hug! Unbelievable effort from Austin Aries!
No.
And Bryan Danielson is now in a world of pain. And
Dragon submitted once already in this match. You gotta wonder if he's gonna submit again.
And he is going to the face of Austin Aries. It looks like he's trying to tuck the arms in, trying to reverse it back on Austin Aries. Can he do it? Yes, he squeezes his arms around Austin Aries and takes him off his feet. Aries' ribs and lower back have to be screaming in pain, and he's turning it into that submission that gave the victory on at the marvelous finish. This is that same submission. He is twisting Aries in half. And Aries is pulling himself up by the ears. Headbutt, desperation headbutt. And Danielson has to turn it over to a suplex.
Release over the head, belly to belly, almost by desperation. Dragon clutching his knee. He might have pulled something using the leverage of momentum or whatever. Try to throw Aries over.
But you know what? Those headbutts, they're going to get the cobwebs back in the head of Bryan Danielson. Danielson has to be seeing stars. Danielson going for the home run swing right here. Can he get the back suplex?
See, Aries reversed this once already. If he does it again, it's all over. All he's got to do is shift his weight and cross-body the man. No! Danielson scores with the top rope belly to back suplex.
Cover! Hooks the leg! How did Aries kick out? How did he do it?
Cat of mutilation. What's it going to take? This has got to be it.
And he has it cinched in.
He wouldn't tap the first time. Is he going to tap the second time?
Perhaps Danielson will turn it into a pinning combination like he did before. And Aries, he's under the ropes. He's got it. Yes, he's got the ropes. Aries able to get the ropes. Miraculous effort from Austin Aries. Bryan Danielson, a head full of cobwebs. He has to be wondering what's it going to take. Look at that look on his face. A look of frustration, a look of anger. A look of desperation. And he's planting Aries on the top rope one more time. Softening up that lower back with that forearm. Aries struggling, fighting. Every last bit of energy he has, he's using right now. Clubbing Danielson in the head.
Absolutely wearing out the neck of Danielson.
Oh, imagine what Danielson's head has to be feeling like right now. Danielson is down, and he's in position for Aries to hit the 450, but I think the ceiling's too low. Aries isn't going to be able to get it. He goes for it. No!
Oh, that knee. That knee just got jammed right into the mat.
And he just blocked the European uppercut. Trying for a backslide. Yes, cover!
Oh, so close.
Somehow Danielson kicking out. Both these men showing inhuman amounts of intestinal fortitude. How are they getting it? Danielson clutching at that leg.
This is Ring of Honor. This is everything Ring of Honor is about. Forearm by Danielson. Forearm by Aries. Both men have to use the ropes to stand.
And Danielson goes for the leg. Smart move by Bryan Danielson. And look at Aries just pummeling the back of the head. Kicking Danielson. And Danielson could be knocked out from any one of these blows if one of them really connects. His head is probably so soft at this point. Aries sometimes struggles out. This crowd is exhausted. I'm exhausted. But the atmosphere here is unbelievable.
Let's go, Aries! Let's go, Dragon! Let's go, Aries! Let's go, Dragon! Let's go, Aries! Let's go, Dragon! Let's go, Aries!
The crowd showing their appreciation for both men. All those faces glued on the ring. Ref Hansen, he might have to make a judgment call about stopping it, but both men are getting to their feet, struggling. Roaring forearm scores!
but he's too fatigued to make the cover. His head has been too rattled.
I can't believe it.
He's got to pull himself off that mat, and he's got to lock cattle mutilation on.
What's it gonna take?
Count applied by Ref Hansen once again. He's up to 3. Aries could be out. Dragon could be out. This could be the end of the match right here. Are we going to go to a sudden overtime?
I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't even know if these guys can continue. They're so dazed. Roaring forward by Aries connects right on the chin of Danielson.
He can't capitalize either. He's crawling in the opposite direction.
Anybody with any background in boxing knows that a blow to the chin will knock you out.
Both men are going to need an IV after this. They got to be so fatigued and so weak. Aries appearing to be sensing victory right now.
No matter what the result is, we are seeing something very special here. And it looks like at this point we might be here all night. What's Aries doing? He's going for the home run swing now. Clubbing the neck, the back of the head of Danielson. Great buster from the top. All impact on the complex field out of Bryan Danielson.
Come on, Aries, make it. That's all she wrote.
How is Bryan Danielson kicking out?
You better believe Austin Aries is asking himself that exact same question right now.
That has to be pure instinct from Bryan Danielson. This crowd can't believe it. Aries now trying to pull Danielson up by the ears. And Danielson is dead weight. Danielson is once again dead weight. He might be out on his feet.
Danielson goes up, Danielson goes down.
Another brainbuster, more impact on the head. No, he can't be thinking of doing another one. There's no way. There's no way Danielson can take this. There's absolutely no way.
Danielson's got to reverse. He's got to land on his...
Another one. And Aries using his last bit of strength to hit those. Driving to the top. Going for the 450, the ceiling stool. That overhang is right there. No! He nails it! Wow. I don't even know what to say, CM Punk.
Well, let me stop you before you say that this is a match of the year candidate. I know you like to throw that around, a lot around like that, Howard, but let me tell you, Ring of Honor does it again. It raises the bar. Since day one, Ring of Honor has done that. It's bringing the best wrestling in the world, the best wrestling in North America, and this is just another long line of fantastic matches. Whether you like it or you hate it, learn to love it. These two guys are stars in the business, and Ring of Honor is on top of the wrestling world. What a fantastic match.
I can't tell you how proud I am to have this match in the Ring of Honor ring. Absolutely unbelievable. The fans, they're not in a hurry to leave this building even after seeing this 1 hour plus match. They're showing their appreciation of both these athletes. That is so great. Pro wrestling is a sport. Prove them to Austin Aries and Bryan Danielson. What a moment here. And look at Aries. He's going to be feeling this one for a long time, and this man has just become a full-blown superstar.
The crowd's on their feet for a reason. They appreciate the hard work both these gentlemen just showed them.
And it's time for the handshake. And Aries said they're going to give it to Danielson. He's leaving.
He didn't shake his hand in the beginning of the match. Why would he shake his hand at the end?
And if you respect your opponent, you shake their hand, and Aries has to respect Danielson.